Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome back everybody. It's the beginning of a new week. Today it's Monday. A very interesting day on the market. Definitely the 2 days did give some opportunities to the long side, to the short side. So today it was a tradable day, but a little after 2 o'clock it's a huge algo spike came into the market and basically it's flushed down everything and then we rebought everything. So it's a crazy day on the news. What's really nothing new in it, everybody knew already. Banking, mortgage, nothing new, but a great examples how the computers are affecting the market. Anyway, today is another green day. We traded 5 times today. 4 of them was a winner. 1 of them was a loser. So overall, it's an excellent day for our account. And let's go in. Let me explain what I see, how I see it, and why I entered and exited the places where I did. So let's get in and let's get started. What's up you guys? So let's start our daily recap. Well, today was a very interesting day. It gave us opportunities to the long side, to the short side, and basically, unfortunately, anytime I entered into the market, it's became very choppy. So the results wasn't such a great results. The entries and exits was perfect, so where I supposed to be, and we managed another green day. So let me explain to you guys how all this unfolded. Right, today we opened, we can call it flat, right? It was nothing major. We opened very close to the Friday closing date. So in this case, usually what I do, have to wait for a trend, right? From a morning, we have a little bit of downtrend, right? Because we have a pre-market high, and then basically we just trending down, creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So basically we can get our trend line a little bit established. We are already in a downtrend compared from the pre-market, as we hit a double top, close to a double top. So usually I wait. We have to establish a trend, what's gonna happen. So definitely we have to create a couple, either higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, so we're confirming our direction, right? So my first entry was 1018, and this is 10, actually, yeah, it is the green candle. I'm just gonna put our arrow here. This was a counter 10 trade. We have already a downtrend, but if we compare for the pre-market, we have a support level, right? And also if we try to establish what happened a day prior, we have our pivot level very close. Actually, we have two pivot levels. So we have pre-market low, pivot level, and basically we just hit exactly that. So we had our week, and you guys know about the wicks, how I try to trade them, and usually what I think what happened when we hit that. So basically what happened, we created, compare to the morning, we created a lower low, lower high, and then we wick down, right? I still didn't enter, but we came down the second time and we established a very short double bottom here. So as soon as we started to curl, I entered as we broke the candle. It went higher. It wasn't a significant rise. We were chopping around a little bit. We never broke the low, and in this case, again, we just wick down. We never closed on the 5 minutes. We never closed below. So this one is created another wick, and as we came down, I added to my position at 41. So this was quite a long hold to wait. So basically I entered 39, 40, 41 as we were making a new high, as we were breaking out. So I had two entries, and if you guys recall, I explained in my point of view what's the difference between averaging down and scaling in, right? The averaging down, basically what it means, eventually here we were in the losing position, right? But the losing position didn't create any breaking of a structure, right? We had the previous low, but we have a pivot. We had another pivot level, right? Which were at that time the high of the day. So this level, let me just put a line over here. This level basically acted as our support level, right? As we came down, wick down, we basically never reached that level, and we're starting to trending up. And if we go to the 5 minutes, exactly that's what it is, just a wick. So basically I stayed in that position and I adding in. So basically, as it reached my entry level, I added to it on the same spot. In this case, the price was a little bit lower, even the actual underlying price was higher. So my average was between the two. So it's nothing major, but it between the two as it broke out. Let's go back to the 1 minute. So that's the difference between the scaling in and averaging down. Averaging down, basically you just keep adding. If it's breaking down here and you adding here, that's basically an averaging down, right? Because you waiting a structure to break. When it's, in my point of view, this would be my exit. And if you averaging down, this is where you adding to it. Same thing, continue down, averaging down. I wouldn't be in this position anymore, but this is how you're losing the account very quickly. In every support level, you adding to your position as you think it would bounce, right? So you're adding to the position to go back higher, but if it doesn't work out, then basically you double down on a loser. In this case, you triple down on the loser, so you can blow your account out of the water very quickly. Scaling in, it's already established, right? Another trend up, so I added to it, and it was a right decision because it will continue higher. So my exits from this position, and let's not forget we have our trend line from the morning. So my first exit were on 49, I was scared out of it, so I never exit on one stop, on one exit. So the first exit, it's the fourth bunch of exit, it's on 49, 48, 49. As we were breaking VWAP, make sure it's no rejection, because we had a rejection here, rejection here. We don't know what will happen here. So basically, as we were breaking out, I exited, not the whole position, but I exited. So we're taking profit, right? And then when we took profit, we'll see what's gonna happen. Then we're moving our stop higher, and then we consider that one as our new stop loss, basically. Because from here to still waiting for this structure on the option, that is drastic drop, and that's just kill your account, right? Because you go on the structure of the underlying, not on the option. So this would be our new stop, right? Week down, we established a little support over here. So if VWAP breaks and the market heading down, then basically this is your exit. As it broke the pivot level, as it broke a new support, that would be your exit, right? So in this case, exited, partial exit. Let's see what happens with the market. Next batch exit, 49, it was 58. 58, as we heading higher, exited, making a new breakout, exit a bunch, pushing our stop loss higher, right? Because we created a little support at VWAP. Next batch, so it's 1, 2, and the third and final, 11 and 12 on the very top. 11, 12. So this is where we exited. So this was a perfect trade. But nevertheless, because it took so long to get up here, it wasn't a bad trade. It was about 90, 120, about 25-30%. So it's not a bad trade. It just took for a while to establish itself and to be able to take profit. We did perfectly, you know. We scaled out as we went higher. Over here we stopped. Why exited everything out of here? Because on the pre-market, right, we can look at this level, the 80s, as a major pivot level, right? We had a top, so we had a support, resistance, we flushed, it came up, it flushed down. So this one is a level what we consider, right? So, and already pushed quite a lot, so it was absolutely no reason to hold it. We could have held it a little bit more to see actual, if we're making a daily actual market pivot high, but the pre-market, it was more distinguished, right? So I decided to take all my profit and exit from there. So this was our first one. Let's just get speed up a little bit. It took so long to explain this one. All right, so the next batch from there, basically what we created now, we had a lower low, and as we break out, we have a higher high. So in general, two things you can do. Either you have the VWAP and you're waiting for as the support for the VWAP. In this case, it didn't happen. I didn't even consider that. But the next best thing when we're creating a new high. So as you had the trend line break over here, because we had the trend line, right? You could consider this one, this entry, and also we're breaking a support, breaking down a support, breaking down a trend line, we can enter here targeting VWAP, right? It's not a big distance. So yeah, for a quick scalp, definitely working. So in my point of view, we had to create a higher low, right, to establish an actual trend. And exactly that's what happened. We created a higher low, we retested our original trend line, what we broke out of here, we retested our trend line. And then we could have an then we could have an entry as we break out of here. Me, I didn't enter here, I missed this entry, I didn't want to chase it. So that's it. This would have been another nice entry. But what happened after this, because I missed this entry, now I had to wait. I had to see what's gonna happen with the trend. If we're creating another, what we're creating, a higher high, right? So if we're passing this pivot level, then we would create a higher high to establish an actual trend, right? Higher low, actually this was a lower low, lower high, higher low. So to establish a trend, we have to have over here a higher high, right? But we didn't get it. So basically we started to form, we can put, well, actually if we go, we can go, let me take this one off. We can consider so instead this high, we can take our pre-market high, right? They should have been there before, but we can, just for information purposes for you guys. So you see we break out, but we flushed it back down and creating a lower high. So as we came down, we started to trend inside the wedge, right? So the next thing, what we have to see, how we're forming. So we created a support around 412.06, right? So in this case, because this was just a wick, what I usually do, I move it, because this is just a wick, and over here we established already a low and a support. So I move my trend line and try to consider trades from there. And exactly that, as we hit it the second time, we went back up, hitting again our trend line. And how we trading the wedge? Two ways we can trade. We can trade as we hitting the low or the high. Over here we trading, start to enter to the long. Over here we start to enter to the short. But the proper way to trade, to wait for an actual breakout and a pullback. Breakdown or a pullback and then continue, right? Same thing, breakout, pullback, continue to the long side, because here we just have no idea where the market's heading. So my next trade, it was at 12:45. 12:45. All right, 12:45. We break down, right? And that's, we're considering the red candle, not the greens, the red one. So as you guys looking up 45, you see that's the red candles. So my entry, we break down, we break out of our trend line, out of our wedge, but we're not taking the actual candle what it's breaking out. We wait for the retest. We trading on the 1 minute, so we have to trade the 1 minute. Breakout, retest, and as it comes down, making a new low on the new candles, that's where I entered. And the exit was very, very quick as we created a new low, breaking down our support level, exited 49 exactly on the candle when it started to go green, as broke up, creating a new high. That's where I exited. This little trade, it gave me a little bit less than 10%. So this is what we have to see, right? This little trade, actual quick breakdown, little bit less than 10%. It's about 9.5%. Very, very quick move down. And this over here, the choppy market, chop, 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 this give me about 30. That was a quick one, right? So next trade, I tried to do exactly the same thing again. We went back up, tested, but that one is my loser. So in that case, we entered 12.55. 12.55. As we went up, we never closed. We closed inside, but we started to flush. So I entered right here, 12.55, as we continue or move lower. Unfortunately, as it came down, right away wick up, never break out on the other side, right? VWAP support, so I never exited, waited if it's continue down, right? Unfortunately, it didn't continue. Where do I place my stop? Exactly, we created a little bit of pivot level right here, which was aligned completely with the VWAP. So my exit oh 08, 7 right there. That was my exit. So this was a very, very quick loser, right? So this one, basically whatever I made over here, I give back completely, and just a little bit more. So this was about a 12% loser, so it's a little bit more than this one. And then quickly, our next trade, I entered 135. And why is 35? Let's see, 31. Sorry, I was correct, 31. So let's see, what is the 31 candle? 31 candle is the second green as we break out. So this was my next exit to the long side. We break out, we have the trend line to the up, we broke the wedge, we retested the trend line, we created another high, right? We broke out pivot level, support by VWAP. As we were curling up, we break out, and the market just closed. I entered, and this is where it gets very, very interesting. I exited out of it $46 as we were creating a high, 46 and 57, 46 and 57, and I exited 57. And this is what happened right after. So basically we had 1, 2, 3 winners, 1 loser, and we flushed. I was out completely on this part, and in this case we have to see what is our structure, right? Remember in the beginning I talked about to breaking basically our first pivot level on the market open, after the market opens, right? But we didn't, so we have to exit. This is the difference between the new traders and an inexperienced new traders and a seasoned trader. You never enter for an actual breakout, and especially not in the 2 days market. I think I mentioned this already, because we have no actual trend on the market. So every breakout we have to wait for the retest, every single one. If it's trend line, if it's support resistance level, we have to wait for the retest every single time, because exactly this is, well, we cannot say because exactly this is what's going to happen. This is anomaly on the market when a news came out and the algos just flushed the market. This is, sometimes I'm just wonder, how this can be allowed on the market itself, but it is what it is. Because even if you place your proper stop loss, in this case, when it's a flush like this, you just your stop just gets skipped and you kept in the trade. So unfortunately, a flush like that is it can be devastating. And after hindsight, you can say, oh right, but we had the low of the day, we had a new support level. After a flush like this, I don't know, at that very moment as it flushing down, yeah, people would enter, it could explain, but I just don't see the reasoning why you enter at this as it still flushing down, right? Because this is basically is just you try to catch a falling knife and already broke the low of the day on a high volume. At that moment, why would you enter here? Well, it is what it is. For a hindsight explanation, it's good. But what happened, I tried to enter to the long side here. As we broke our original trend line, we came back above, remember, 1206. We pulled back, we retested that level, and as we broke out, I tried to enter here, but it was such a burst of momentum, I didn't get filled. So basically, I didn't even entertain any further to try to enter right here. Once we made all the way up, in my thinking, a lot of people try to go short here, as again, inexperienced people, inexperienced trader would enter for the actual breakout, right? Or breakdown. In this case, that's low of the day breakdown. But again, let's not forget on that end how far we came from the top. Regardless what is the news, what's happening on the market, these you have to wait for the retest, right? You have to break down, you have to chop around a little bit, you have to come back, and then you continue. Then you enter for the breakdown, right? In this case, it never happened, so it was no justification to continue to the short. But it broke our trend line. It came above our previous support level, retested our previous support level. So here we have a justification to enter. Unfortunately, I didn't get filled. It would be a nice move. It is what it is. Wait for the next formation, what would happen. My next entry, what I was thinking, once we get back all the way up here, basically we are at the high of day. We would be very close to the high of day. We would be close to all of our pivot levels. And let's not forget, all these people who try to enter short, it's underwater. So it would fuel, and exactly that's what happened from this point. It would fuel the upward momentum. It would give us a nice squeeze. That's what happened, a beautiful short squeeze. So my last entry was at 26. 29, 26. Basically, as we were creating the new high, right? It's unfortunately it's just a little weak. It didn't went right away, but again, never broke our structure. In this case, this would be our stop, the 1260-ish area, right? We created stop here. We stopped going lower, and then basically, as we flushed down, came back up. That's where the big move started. So this where would be a reasonable stop for our entry, right? Never came down, we stayed in. Again, where would we exit? My exit came 37. Where is 37? Just a little short trade as we were breaking our high, right? I didn't stay in. What happened? Came down. It could come down because this was such a short, such a small position. I exited at once. When we came up here, at once, out, and we're done. And then from this point on, the VWAP gave us some support, and we stayed basically in the general area, right? Where we break down, where we did stop. So that initial 1260-ish area provided very nice support. Let's see how it looks on 5 minutes. Exactly. Both of the breakdown is just only a week. But anyway, today was a very interesting day. Maybe I'm gonna make a video about the algos, the algo flush, how we should trade, how we're supposed to do, what we have to look out if that wasn't happening. But anyway, it was a great day. 5 trade, 4 green, and for you guys, just have to be careful. Put your stop losses. Unfortunately, in this move right here, your stop loss wouldn't really help if you got skipped over. But anyway, it's a green day. Learn, study, try to be better every single day. And tomorrow's a new day, and we're gonna get right back in it. All right, so if you guys find any value in my channel, so far we have, surprisingly for me, I never had any kind of channels like this. It's nice to see how many of you guys watching my channel every episode. The subscribers comes in, so I'm very humbled, and I want to say thank you. And please, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Is really helping for the algorithm, and turn on your notifications so you guys gonna be one of the first one who's getting my new video. All right, so thank you very much, and see you guys tomorrow.